Congress is divided into two separate houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate. We'll take a look at how each of these houses are organized, starting with the House of Representatives.
The House of Representatives is the larger of the two congressional houses. It has 435 members. Historically, the House has been more tightly organized than the Senate, with an elaborate structure governed by the stricter rules.
The Speaker of the House is the most powerful member of all of Congress, both in the Senate and the House of Representatives. The Speaker of the House is elected at the beginning of each biennial congressional session. That means every 2 years. He or she is traditionally a member of the majority party. That is, the party that has the most members in the House. Lucky for the Speaker, they usually get elected over and over until retirement or until their party becomes a minority.
This is what the Speaker of the House does. The Speaker presides over the House and oversees all House business, is the official House spokesperson, is the official liaison to the Senate and President, and is responsible for the cooking, the cleaning, and the organizing of the Congressional Softball Tournament.
The Speaker isn't the only leader in the House. There are 4 other leaders. First, there are the majority and minority leaders.
The majority and minority leaders both work closely with the Speaker. The majority House leader helps the Speaker schedule proposed legislation for debate on the House floor. The minority leader represents those goals of the minority party in the House.
There are also majority and minority whips.
The majority and minority whips are elected by the party members in their respective caucuses or parties. They are responsible for keeping close contact with all members as they attempt to keep them focused on the party agenda. In other words, if a House member strays too far from party goals, they better be ready to get whipped into shape.
You do agree with the party on this one, don't you?
Now, son, I have been with the party. You can count on me.
So that's the House of Representatives. But what about the Senate?
Well, first off, the Senate's a bit smaller with only 100 members. The Senate also operates with fewer formal rules than the House. According to the Constitution, the Vice President is the presiding officer in the Senate. But because the VP only votes in the case of a tie, this position is normally delegated to the President pro tempore of the Senate. The President pro tempore is largely an honorary position and usually goes to the majority party's senior member.
The big kahuna of the Senate is the majority party leader. This individual does not hold as much power as the Speaker of the House, but plays a similar role. The Senate also has a majority and minority whip, playing the same roles as those in the House. There's one other difference you'll find between the Senate and the House.
Big difference. Individual senators have much more impact upon legislation than individual House representatives. Remember that.
Senators' decisions and votes have more impact and representation than House representatives' decisions and votes. This is largely because the size of the Senate body is much smaller. Therefore, each senator's vote has more impact in determining a decision.
Additionally, individual senators can filibuster legislation. Filibustering is the act of talking a proposed law to death. Thwarting a filibuster is not easy. It requires a 3/5 majority of the entire Senate to vote for cloture, which limits debate to 100 hours, thereby curtailing the filibuster. Without question, the filibuster, or the threat of a filibuster, increases the individual power of senators. We'll talk more about filibusters and proposed laws in a bit.